So my talk tonight is just really to talk about the current research, some of the training and potentially a grower manual which may be coming out soon. So really just a bit of introduction for the DA meter. Really it's used in fruits and vegetables. I do know one lady who did a PhD on lettuce, so it's not just Stonefruit. It can be used across a wide range of different fruits and different vegetables. Really all it does is just establish the optimum harvest time by taking a non-destructive reading of the fruit in field. And because fruit shelf life is very important to us, and the quality which is closely related to the ripening stage, it's just a nice tool to use to try and link those two. It can also be used in cold storage as well to establish maturity changes. And the DA index is what's measured with the DA meter. Again, useful in many stages of production in the consumption cycle of fruit. So just briefly, and I've just taken this off the website which advertises the DA meter. It can be used by the farmer, like someone like me out in the field, at harvest time to identify the optimum maturity time or best moment for picking. It can be used in the cold room, in the packing shed, also in the packing house. So it's been used in packing houses to select the correct fruit maturity for different markets. So less ripe fruit for distant markets, riper fruit for local markets, and so on. It can also be used at the retailer as well in order to buy products at the intended maturity level for the customer that wants that mature type piece of fruit. Again, I've just found it seems to be a really promising tool. Practical and lots of scientific applications. I did attend a horticultural conference back in August, I think it was 2014. There was a lot of research on all different fruits. The DA meter was used quite extensively in that research. And from my point of view, I thought, well, it's been used and it's been tested scientifically. Now we actually need to get it out in the growers' hands, out in the field, and get some practical measurements happening. One of the interesting things as well is the decreasing index ranges of the DA meter. So the DA meter measures the chlorophyll levels of the fruit. So as the fruit ripens, the chlorophyll level of the fruit decreases. It's also related to the ripening process by an inverse relationship with the ethylene emissions as well. So as the chlorophyll level or the DA meter readings go down, the ethylene emissions are actually going up on the piece of fruit. So what I've done in the last couple of years, and this is some work I did last season, where I looked at specifically three varieties: an early yellow nectarine, which was probably early November, one probably mid to late November, nearly into December, and an early white peach as well. And all I was doing was trying to track the progress of the DA readings over time. So one of the reasons why we're trying to use this as a tool is to try and predict harvest. Specifically on certain varieties. So we know for the early yellow nectarine at the moment, so on the 27th of October, we had a DA reading of 2.92, which is quite immature, down to the 16th of November of 0.66, which is quite mature. And we can back that up with some Brix readings and some pressure readings as well. And that gives us a guide of roughly at what level we should be harvesting at, but also the time it takes when it starts at a high reading, the time it actually takes to go down to that maturity that you want to actually start harvesting. Now the good thing about the DA readings, they're consistent over season. So whereas NIR sometimes will change season by season, so if you get a warm spring or a cold spring, the sugar levels are quite variable and can vary quite dramatically from season to season. The chlorophyll level readings, or the DA readings, will be consistent from season to season, so it won't change. So you know from one season, for this early yellow nectarine, 0.66 is going to be my maturity target. Okay. Of course, if you get warmer springs than normal, the whole cycle will actually shift in terms of the physical date you harvest, but the actual timeline should stay the same. So you should still be able to predict the harvest time. So this was another example of where I took just a general tray of fruit from our shed and measured the DA index of all the pieces of fruit, and you can see there's quite a range of maturity levels in that box. So right down here we've got 0.43, which is quite mature. Over to the top corner, 1.13, which I would say would be quite a lot less mature. However, generally you can't actually pick that up during harvest time, so you're going to get that range through your grade. Just to clarify, even though there's quite a range of DA readings there, they are all above a certain Brix level because it's been graded out on sugar. So I won't go through this video tonight. So this is just something which is on the web, which anybody can access, which is Dario, just talking about how to measure the DA in the field, the random sampling process that you need to undertake as growers to try and get some sort of idea of the maturity range within your property. And just lastly, just some future plans that we're sort of looking at as well as Dario. Post-harvest work of correlating the DA readings with ethylene release. Now Dario will talk a little bit more in detail about that. Protocols for a grower manual to help growers use the DA meter properly. And through the bottom one there, just long-term potential, you can actually include it in as an extra piece of grading technology. So for packing sheds that already have NIR technology in their system, you can actually lower the spectrum of the infrared technology to actually grade out on maturity as well, not just sugar. So that's really all I've got. So I suppose my view was just to show what we've been doing with the DA meter. I know as a committee we talked about it 2 or 3 years ago, just the actual potential. We've just decided to progress with it for our growers as well, just to try and get a better handle on at what stage they should be picking their fruit.